Hey friends, how's everybody doing? Happy Monday. We're in the shop, thank goodness. Thank goodness. This time of year, it's kind of a toss-up as far as what you're going to be doing in construction and so on and so forth. Well, this is what blew in over the weekend. I think it's starting to snow now, and it's not good. It's like 12 degrees. I think by the end of the week, we're supposed to be in the single digits with minus at night. So it's not a lot of fun. It's just not, it's not pretty, but we're coming in here and we've got a nice, what is it in here? We've got a nice, lots of stuff in here. 64, that works for me. So anyway, what I showed you a picture of over there is a silicone casting of that stone axe head, Celt it's called, C-E-L-T. Not sure why they call it Celt, but I gave it back to the customers on Saturday. It was theirs, and that was just the way it was. But before I did that, and I had what I thought I had it videoed, but it was just, I had cut part of it out and it just wasn't usable video. But I went to the craft store and got a 2-part silicone dough that you mix. One's yellow, one's white, and you mix it. And it's just a dough rather than going through that plaster positive, negative mold thing. And this was just like, in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I had my mold, a 2-part mold. I did half, set it down in the dough, and it turned rubbery, and let it cure for 30 minutes, and then did the same thing, and ended up with these guys. And you can see on this one, I'm a little thin on the bottom. I'm not too pleased with that, but I am mounting them on these pieces of plywood. So I've got spray mount, which I'm hoping is going to work. This is just regular old spray mount. And then I've got some acrylic paint that I'm going to mix in the plaster of Paris to try, rather than surface paint it, I want to get some color all the way through it. So we'll see how it works out. And so basically what I'm going to do here right now is, I think my glue is, let's see, get that out there. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I've got the outside of this traced on here, and the idea was to make these blocks the same size so that when I clamp this thing together, it'll stand on its own while I pour the plaster of Paris in there. The inner Google research, I was kind of debating as to whether to use plaster of Paris or straight up plaster, or so I after reading, I just went with plaster of Paris because it's more for this kind of application. So anyway, hopefully we're gonna get some stickage, some adhesion to this. It'd be nice. So now we have our negatives. And what's neat about this silicone too, not only was it fast, it molded to the texture of the stone. Darn near perfectly. I mean, as perfectly as I can get it, because I've never done this before, really. So it looks like we made it. So basically now I've got myself, I took a little dowel and put it at the end. So when this is standing up against the other one, that's where I'll pour the plaster of Paris. So let me get set up, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, water, plaster of Paris dry powder, acrylic paint, a funnel. The mold is clamped together. And the thing about the silicone that I'm not exactly crazy about, but I think I'm gonna get more reuse out of the silicone than anything else. But if you clamp this together too hard, you're gonna smush this, and then you'll distort the shape of what you're trying to cast. So I just had to be really careful of that. And then I guess the idea here is gonna be to just not move that and let it set up before I bust the mold apart. So anyway, I'm gonna mix my stuff up, and just a little tipperoni, I guess, whatever. No matter what I'm mixing, whether it's mortar, thin set for tile, anything where it's dry and wet, I always put the water in first. It just seems, I don't know why, it just seems to mix better. So anyway, I'm gonna mix this up, and then I'll bring you back in. Talk to you in a bit. Okay, well, here's what we got going. I had to move. Once I started mixing this plaster Paris started setting a little bit, and I had to temper it with some water. But this is about, I got it too thick at the beginning, and it wouldn't pour through the funnel. And that was kind of a problem, so I had to hit it with some water. So this is kind of the consistency you want. And then I just put the funnel in here until the funnel backed up, pulled it off, and wiped things up. Now I'm gonna do this. Now, I just gotta wait. The water's really cold. And what I did was, I couldn't get this as dark as I wanted to, and I mixed way too much, but oh well. That's the way it goes. I have plenty in that box. And so we'll use this as a gauge of how quickly it's setting up, and before this sets up, then we'll clean this up. It's already thickening, you can tell. It's gonna be sitting on top of it. It's starting to get to be about the consistency of mayonnaise. So, but I really like the way that this mold has sealed. With plaster, I was watching people with molding clay and all kinds of stuff, you know, and I didn't have a lot of time yesterday because I had to, or Saturday, I had to get it back over to the customer's house. And incidentally, they were just freaking astounded. So anyway, we'll wait on this, and we'll work on some other stuff here in the shop, and hopefully we'll have something cool to look at here in a little while. Talk to you soon. Bye. Yeah, we're probably 45 minutes in now, and I really do like this silicone. You use Dawn dishwashing liquid when you put your second mold on top of your first with your piece that you're trying to copy in there. And I kind of pinched the dough over the first mold, which gives it a really good seal. And I've been watching my plaster of Paris, and you can see that we're getting thick. Now we're probably at pudding type of consistency, so it's starting to set. I hit it with the sander one more time, and it started to rise. Now the thing you have to be careful of when you use this kind of thing is you start to loosen your clamps. So once I saw that happening, I stopped and I retightened my clamps. And now here's what I was talking about by affecting the mold. See that come up? And I mean, look how little I'm turning that. So it's, you know, we'll see how it comes out. So really all I was doing was just tapping this mold to try and get it to settle in the nooks and crannies as best I can, so that we don't have to come back and make repairs, or worse, even worse, do this over. I don't want to do this over. What I'd like to do is have this work out and then be able to make a plaster mold. I'm going to make a series of copies and then take the best one and use that for a sand casting, and then try to cast it out of aluminum first, and then maybe move to bronze, if, you know, just depending. I mean, in my spare time, right? Yeah, everybody has all kinds of spare time. So anyway, that's what's happening. So we'll come back to this stuff. Well, moment of truth. I'm like going nuts. Stuff like this drives me crazy. It's like I could never be a concrete guy. Yeah, it's got a lot of, the last time I checked it, I was able to do that to it, but this is a bigger piece, and I'm putting quite a bit of pressure on that. So I took the clamps off of it. So let's see what we've got. Let's see. Oh, wow. And there you have it. And that's like, look at that. That's exactly what the texture of that stone was. I'm so glad I didn't do, I'm so glad. I really, really like this stuff. It was so much easier than doing I have a little void there, which that can be fixed. You know, let's see. I think we may have to wait on this bottom. It's super soft. Oh yeah, that brings back those feelings. That brings back that whole, I was like kind of feeling bummed out because it was such a cool thing to be able to look at, you know. We've decided to just say before recorded history, you know. It's old. Some people are like, oh, it's no big deal, and other people are like, it's a big deal, and it's a big deal to me and the customers. So, you know, that's all that really matters. But oh, that's nice. Now that I've got gray in there all the way through, I've got spray paint that once this is dry, I'll make it look like the original, and then put some sort of preservative top on to seal it. Man, it nailed it. Nailed it. So cool. Not sure what that is. I guess that was just water collecting at the bottom. But yeah. Kind of even looks like a stone. Look at that. Lovely. We shall return in a little while when this is dried out a little bit, and we'll look at the other side. All right. See you in a bit. Well, moment of truth. I let this sit for a couple of hours, and I think because of the paint in it, it's still pretty wet, but we're gonna give it a shot. Ooh, it let go. No voids. Oh, just one void, two voids that are pretty easily fixed. It looks like. The mold kind of moved a little bit at the seam. This side is pretty good, but this side is a little bit, I'll have to got to be really careful here. But that shape is what I want. That shape, that wedge shape, that beautiful wedge shape is there. This side came out really good. So, there we have it. Oh my goodness, yes. Oh, I need to not mess it up. That's just neat. Nice. Woo. Well, I got a little memento now and a little reference. Been doing a lot of sanding here. But anyway, I hope everybody's had a good Monday. Just been kind of sitting here in the shop and doing odds and ends, and I think I'm gonna go home here in a little bit. So anyway, Kim Wilson, Healed Heart. I realized I don't have any way to get a hold of you except comment, so I guess I'll do that. Or if you're on the Buckin Army Facebook page, you can message me there, or I'll message you. Just let me know. I hope you guys are doing okay. I think I got the gist of what was going on yesterday in the live feed. You guys had a car wreck or a truck wreck? Sorry, I hope you guys are okay. So, thoughts and prayers with you guys. Stuff is just crazy sometimes. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I've got my little doggy Annabelle. I'm gonna try and take a walk in the cold weather. So everyone, stay safe. Put a smile on. Let's be kind. I'll talk to you soon. See ya.